Alright guys, so today's video we're going to check out the brand new Marshall Major 5 wireless headphones. And if I had to guess, I would say that this is probably Marshall's most popular pair of wireless headphones or earbuds. You see it more in their marketing. It's more readily available when it comes to stores. And so the new pair, which doesn't actually come out till April 23rd, and that's the pair that we're going to check out today, comes in at $149. Now it doesn't have noise canceling, so we don't have to compare it to the Sony or Bose when it comes to that. But it does have some pretty impressive features, which we're going to talk about. And we're going to see if the sound quality kind of matches up with the price tag. Now with the new version, you are getting up to 100 hours of battery life, where with the previous version, you were getting 80 hours. This pair does have the fast charging feature, where a 15-minute charge will get you 15 hours of use. That's just extremely impressive. And this pair supports LE audio, or low energy audio. And this is kind of what's allowing you to get that 100 hours of battery life and not have to sacrifice when it comes to the sound quality. And with the LE audio, it also supports Auracast. Now this is something that's not as widely known. This is something where you can go into like an airport or anywhere where it's broadcasting something to the masses, and you can also share audio with others using this feature. It's something that's pretty interesting to check out. So definitely, look up Auracast if that's something you really want to learn some more about. Now, another interesting feature about this pair, and this was on the previous model as well, is it supports wireless charging. Now, this is a pair of headphones, not a pair of earbuds that has a charging case that supports wireless charging. So you just sit the ear cup on a wireless charger and it will just start charging that way. Now, inside the box, it does come with a USB-C cable if you do want to charge them that way. And then the only other thing that it comes with is a 3.5mm headphone cable. Now, the cable is kind of made to look like a guitar cord because Marshall is more known for their amps. It's attention to detail and things like that that makes a pair like this kind of stand out. Now, there is no carrying case that comes with the Marshall Major 5s. That's kind of a bummer. I'm very particular about not wanting my headphones to get scratched or damaged, but it's still a pretty robust and tough pair of headphones. And it folds down to get very, very small, so it will be easy to throw in any kind of bag you might already have. But I still wish that it came with a carrying case. Now, as far as the design and the build, like I said, it is an extremely tough pair. You can see that it has a leather look at the top. The padding on here is more than enough because these weigh pretty much nothing. This is an on-ear pair of headphones, not an over-the-ear. It's not made to go around your ears. It kind of just sits on your ear. And some people are not going to like this. But what they did to kind of counteract that is they've made what I feel is like some of the softest, lightest feeling ear pads that I've used. So once they're on, you really can kind of forget that they're there. And that's with them even sitting on your ears. So again, that's extremely impressive. There's not a tight clamp, but it's tight enough to make sure that these are not going to fall off. So if you want to use them while running or biking or anything like that, you can definitely use them in those scenarios and you do not have to worry about it. Now, as far as the button controls, it's fairly simple. It's pretty much a single button, although this year's model, they have added a custom button. It's the Marshall logo button that's on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side, this is where your main button is located, and I'm happy to say that it allows you to control everything out of the box. So you don't have to go in Marshall's app, which these do work with, to kind of customize anything except the custom button, which by default is made to use the Spotify tap feature, where you can just tap this button and it'll go straight into playing your music. But you can go within Marshall's app and customize it to do some other things if you want to. And speaking of Marshall's app, this is how you're going to keep these headphones updated. There are some pre-built EQ options already in here, and you can customize the EQ settings the way that you want. There is a battery preservation mode. You can go in and kind of tell it how much you want it to charge or how fast you want it to charge to kind of save the battery life. Because if you ever hear some people talk about earbuds or headphones when it comes to wireless, is they always say that eventually the battery's going to go out. And this is definitely true, and especially with a lot of these pairs that use fast charging, or they're trying to charge it to 100% extremely quick. If you leave it on a charger for a long time and it's already at 100%, ultimately you're just killing your battery in the long run. So this is kind of cool that it has this feature. And another thing within the app is you can turn on and off the sounds that the headphone makes when you turn it on and when you turn it off. And I think this is another feature that kind of makes these stand out. This is something that other Marshall headphones do as well, but when you turn it on, you kind of hear this like distorted guitar riff. Again, it just kind of matches with the brand. And the same thing when you turn them off. It again plays a distorted guitar riff, but it kind of sounds like it's tuning down a little bit. If you're into stuff like that, it's just a nice touch with these headphones. Now moving over to the sound of these. Now these are using custom 40mm dynamic drivers, and I was kind of surprised by the sound signature that these have. Now I have not tested the 4s. I am a fan of the noise canceling headphones that Marshall has, and to me this is kind of a different sound signature altogether. It is definitely boosted. This is not a neutral or flat sounding pair of headphones. I don't really feel like it's made for monitoring or anything like that. It's made to be a fun pair of headphones. But what really kind of stood out amongst everything were the mids. And it's not because they had them like pushed extremely forward. I just felt like vocalists really stood out. Like male and female vocalists, there was a lot of detail and a lot of characteristics. They just stood out no matter what genre I was listening to. And guitar riffs, unsurprisingly, sounded incredible in this pair, and that again kind of leans itself to having impressive mids. But on top of that, the bass has plenty of punch. It's very powerful, but it's not bloated, it's not messy, it doesn't kind of make it sound congested. And with genres like metal and rock or anything where there's a lot going on, it doesn't confuse the music. It doesn't just like ball it up into one muddy mess. So that is also impressive. And the treble on these are nice and clean. There's a nice brightness to it. It doesn't have that overly harsh sound. It doesn't have that sibilance when it comes to S's. It just brings out details. And again, that's very impressive, especially in these more chaotic genres. So this is a pair that you can go and listen to, pop and hip hop, and then go over to rock or metal and switch to classical. And it doesn't seem to like fall flat with any of these genres. Now, when it comes to the soundstage and the sound imaging, this is not the most open pair of headphones that I've tested. I would say it kind of leaves you in that medium to large size room, so it's not like extremely open, but it still does a really good job of being able to tell where different sounds are coming from. So my overall opinion is if you're looking for a very small pair of wireless headphones, if you're looking for something that kind of feels indestructible, even though it's very, very light, and you still want something that has that powerful like Harman Curve type sound signature, that is definitely where these stand out. On top of that, having wireless charging is just really nice, and having battery life that'll last you 100+ hours on a single charge is also something a lot of other headphones can't offer. In fact, a lot of the more expensive brands come in at about half the battery life. So if you do not need active noise canceling and you're not looking for like a neutral sounding pair of headphones, this pair is definitely one that I could recommend, especially at that $150 price point. It did seem to go up a little bit over the Marshall 4s, which I believe were either $129 or $139, but you are getting better battery life. You are getting the low energy audio, which is cool. It, again, is something that is allowing you to get better battery life without sacrificing quality. And overall, this has a sound signature that kind of separates itself from other headphones in the market. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Marshall Major 5 wireless headphones. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.